Welcome to an additional update as the market is doing wonderful as it's granting you opportunities and I am a Slim Shady. No, I'm kidding. But welcome to an additional update as you asked or liked my post on Twitter. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and then you can see all the content that I post on this platform. What do we see right now? We do see that we finally get a big correction on the markets. And it's not only on crypto. Every asset is currently correcting. If we drop towards the AEX, the Dutch one, it dropped down today. If we check the S&P 500, it's dropping down a little as well. If we check the yields, however, we can see that the yields are doing fine as the yields have reached the highest point since the crash in March. This could be an influence of the markets as that will trigger people or asset managers to go risk off, and then assets like stocks, Bitcoin, etc. are dropping down a little. If we go back to the chart of Bitcoin in itself, we can see that we had some levels that we were watching. In general, we had this bearish divergence in the price action here. We broke south, we watched this level. You should erase this entire wick, as that wick is just an outlier because of a cascade of liquidations. Previous support retested. I thought we were going up a little bit more as I marked this level here, but we couldn't really break through the previous support and fell south again. Given that the market has been going up in a vertical way, it can go down very fast as well. And the good part is, usually it takes the staircase up and the elevator down. So with this fast drop down that we just anticipated today, it could be likely that we are at the bottom temporarily for the coming weeks, or the good way is that the pain is usually quite short when we are inside a bull market. What is the most likely case right now, and what are the levels to watch on Bitcoin? Well, we've got this entire zone that we just discussed on the live stream and the update today, in which we know that we have to hold that entire region between 43 to 45.5. We got a test there as well, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit more to show how the structure in itself is expanding, and we see that it's still a very, very bearish price action. What do we see on the 30-minute here is that we have a breakdown in this entire construction. Higher low, run up, resistance found, rejection. Drop down as immediately this previous support becomes resistance and price drops further down the line. Another test, bounce up, previous support as you can see here becomes resistance, downwards momentum, and then we get into the region that we construct here as we see bounces. However, inside this entire bounce structure, we still reject this region as that's the resistance, and we are looking for support once again. Is that a very bad or offensive way of this market? Well, it's very offensive for the people that bought above 50k. But regardless of that, it might be a lesson for those people to start understanding that they should be patient when they want to enter the markets. When we zoom out again, I'm quite confident or getting there that we might be getting a construction like this, in which we are getting there to the bottom at this stage. What's next? Usually in such a corrective period, we get a period of sideways action. And when we have this downwards crucial level to watch, between 43.5 and 45.5, we also have this critical level to watch at 50k to 51. I'm not assuming we're going to have a breakdown or break up above that level in one go. But if the price is going to bounce from that green zone between 43 to 44 or 43 to 55.5, that bounce upwards could be significant to the level of 51k. After that, usually we get a further downwards move or some sideways action, retest of the green zone, as those corrective moves that are longer than we saw in the entire upwards run usually take time. So we can have 1-2 days of very fast drop downs, then a few days of upwards grind, and then in 2 weeks from now we have a final corrective move before we start to grind up again. And that's the moment where altcoins are going to shoot up as people see that Bitcoin is bottomed out again. So summary on the Bitcoin price action, levels to watch is 43 to 45.5. level to watch on the upside is the level at 51k. That is the first resistance zone. If 43 to 45.5 is lost, I'm going to look at the area around 35, but also going to look at the area around 37.5 zone. But that's just not the case right now. If we're going to look at Ethereum, we can see that we're dropping down. This chart is a little messy, apologies for that. But we saw that we had a first bounce from the area around 1600, and then we get the second bounce from the area that's quite critical, which is the zone between 1288 to 1385. So if we have a clean chart, we can see, okay, this entire construction breaks down. First level to watch is quite clear on the Ethereum chart. That's this zone. If that is lost, we're going to look at the region that we have here, probably a little higher, which I'm not assuming we're going there in one go, as this is just a very fast breakdown. I would not be surprised if we get a bounce up, and then we can construct the levels, which is this zone here at 1640 to 6080. And there's this zone at 1800 that I'm going to watch. So most likely we get something like this, and then we start to grind up. Don't look at the time scale, but that's just the case. Then Bitcoin dominance chart, we can see that we're grinding up. I think we're close, or maybe we have some more upwards momentum, as usually you get those relief bounces on the Bitcoin dominance chart. And when we look at Ethereum Bitcoin, we can see that it's hit the level that I've got for interest. So I would not be surprised if we get such a bounce, a retest, and then we continue the grind, and then we can have a massive expansion during the summer. So how to use this drop down? You start buying, because these are the opportunities that you've been waiting for in the entire run previously. Also, usually those corrections take some time, but it can happen that those corrections also have upwards bounces. So if we hold that region between 43 to 45.5, I assume 50 to 51 is likely to be seen with a renewed test afterwards. It's usually 2 waves. After that, the big alt season will occur. So I hope this is a big lesson to all of you. Stay disciplined, be patient, take care of yourself and your family, and be relaxed, enjoy the markets. You're gonna be there. And I'll see you again tomorrow after you subscribe to the channel. Peace.